Paul from Blue Skies Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Now I've shot this particular video 1,000 times in my own head and 3 times in real life, and it never turns out the way I want it to. It's a bit of a story, and I felt I couldn't go on without shooting this video and explaining what's going on, what's happened over the past 12 months. Let me start by saying that the Blue Skies farm has been sold, and with that there's a lot of packing stuff up, moving here and there, and that was about August we got all that settled. We ended up moving into a 2-bedroom flat in town, and then I struggled for a long time. How do you make content about off-grid living and sustainable living, and when you live in a 2-bedroom flat that's all run by electricity? So without appearing to be a hypocrite, I was trying to get my head around how to do that. And then Christmas come along, and I don't think there's anybody that hasn't been touched this particular year and affected by the pandemic. The Christmas was alright, along with everybody else. We had faces missing from the Christmas dinner table, not because we lost anybody, thankfully, but just because they couldn't travel. So I thought, we'll get Christmas out of the road and I can jump back into making videos again. So I went back to work. It was January. Second day back at work. It was the 6th of January. I was on night shift, and I didn't feel well. I jumped on a forklift, and at my work, I put pallets of glass up on a container, on a conveyor, and you've got 30 seconds to withdraw the forks before the conveyor shifts the pallet of bottles sideways. So I knew that, and I was aware of that, and I put the bottles up, as I've done thousands of times, and then I went to go backwards, put the forklift in gear, put my foot on the throttle, nothing happened. So then I tried again, still nothing happened, and then I tramped it real hard, and I went back probably 3 metres further than I wanted to, I expected to. And I really didn't feel well. I was giddy, I was nauseous, and I jumped off the forklift and I said to another person there, I said, "You drive and I'll cut the plastic off the bottles." And that's another part of the job, cut the plastic. So I cut the plastic off one pallet. My arms were really heavy and I had no energy, and I couldn't perform. And then cut the second pallet, and I dropped the knife, and my arms were all bloody, just couldn't function. So I walked into the office, and then somebody actually saw me walking a bit funny and helped me into the office, and then I rang an ambulance, and then turns out I had a stroke. So that was the 6th of January. It's been 6 months now of trying to recover. I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't talk at all, other than grunting sounds and a slur. I couldn't use my hands, and it's been rather a long recovery. So after about 2 months of rest and sleep, all you want to do is sleep. Fatigue is terrible, and so sleep and not being able to do much, I got it a bit depressed and struggling with that. And finally I got to go back to work. I was running out of sick leave. Lucky I had plenty to start with. But then and work was really good, and they supported me wholeheartedly, and still are. And so I finally got back to work, and I could only manage 4 hours, and I wasn't doing a lot. I was mundane jobs like cutting out things with scissors and sitting in an office chair. And anyway, I struggled through that for a few months, and then finally in the last 2 months, I can manage to do a full day's work, and then it's only got better from that. Instead of doing a full day's work and coming home and crashing and sleeping, I can finally come home and do stuff for myself around the place. So in the last, everything's been improving every day. Is something I can use my fingers. I couldn't do that before. I can turn around without getting dizzy and falling over, but I nearly do then. But I can do that. But only in the last week or 2 weeks, 10 days, that I can actually start to daydream a bit. And it's not like daydream, it's your head's foggy. I couldn't do a task and think about something else, because I'd just stop doing the task or I'd make a mistake. And simple things like putting things in a box. Just box comes along, you put that in. Box comes along, you put that in. If my mind wandered, I couldn't do it. But only in the last 10 days, I can daydream, which is, I'm saying I can think of a scenario and think of how you deal with it, or think ahead, or plan ahead, or be creative. And that's a big thing, being creative. So another thing with it, early in this piece, I didn't have words. I know what I want to say, but I couldn't say it because the words just didn't flow. They weren't there. What's that thing called? What's that thing called? And anyway, so there's been big improvements, and I'm thankful for the result. I'm fully recovered as far as that goes. You've got to change the lifestyle and eat healthy, and hopefully I should be all right from now on. But so with selling the farm, there was of course there's a plan to. We bought another property. We're going to build a new house and start a new venture, an exciting new project. We've got an acre, and I want to continue this journey with the channel. But now that we've got this part of the story out of the road, hopefully we can put this behind us and get on to making content again. There's a whole new world out there, a whole life and a whole different attitude. And yeah, well, I left the last video saying just get into it, but now it's time to do that. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.